This broadcast is presented in 4K HDR Ultra High Definition. Presented by Horns and Hooves Entertainment. You are watching Buffalo After Dark.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Buffalo After Dark. It is June 8th of 2022. I am your host, Bob Hansen, and unfortunately for the third week in a row, Tom is absent because this time he got a new job, and unfortunately he has to stay back. And Andy will not be able to make it tonight because of other personal reasonings. But I am once again joined by my old buddy, Sean O'Malley, a.k.a. Mr. Bubba Matt. How are you doing, boss?
Doing good, man. Ready for another episode of BAD, bro. Let's do it.
Bad. Yep. Fuck yeah, let's go. But how was the day overall, though, before we get started? Like, how was life?
Nothing new, really. Just another long day of work, the usual.
Yeah. I don't know if do Amazon people that work in Amazon, do they like track all of the packages throughout the United States or just within the state?
I would assume they track every package.
Well, isn't that what you do?
No, I just sort them.
What do you mean you sort them? What are you talking about?
Yeah, we have a sort. Yeah, well, we have a sortation center where all the packages are sorted to different boxes. They go to different pallets. They go to different doors and whatnot, different locations.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a pretty cool idea. I mean, I assure that the pay is pretty good.
Oh yeah, it's real good, real good.
I'm glad. And so there's a lot to break down tonight. And and if you notice, I am wearing a Colorado Avalanche jersey, and we're going to talk about them in a little bit. So
oh yeah,
we have a lot to talk about, and I'm sure playoff hockey is coming up for you. I mean, it's been going on for a month, and I said this to you a week ago, and I announced it in the ending of the episode, is that the E60 series, Unrivaled, the Red Wings versus the Avalanche, is coming out pretty soon, and it's supposed to be aired during the Stanley Cup Finals. So that's going to be very interesting. And the ironic thing is Colorado is going to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yep. So what better way to show that the Red Wing Avalanche rivalry than with Colorado in the Stanley Cup Finals?
How ironic. And I actually saw the patch for the Stanley Cup patch for the finals. Did you see it?
No, I didn't. You know what? Let me look it up right now.
I'll actually pull it up on screen. I mean, I don't have the tools like Tom does because Tom has like fucking everything. So he like has like all the magic. But I don't know if you could see it too well. But this is from Instagram. I'll show you right there. I don't know if you can see it too well.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
This is the Avalanche jersey, but I'll show you the actual patch itself. Check this out.
Not bad. Not bad.
I mean, it's pretty clean, but honestly, I prefer the older ones. For me, I think it's a little too bland. It's got the modern look to it, of course, but I mean...
Yeah. I mean, they could have added a few things, but I mean, for me, it looks simple, but I don't know. Again, yeah, to me, I like it, but again, they could have added maybe a few more things to it.
Absolutely. And then, of course, this is what it looks like on Cool Hockey's website on Instagram. If you check it out, there's the Avalanche jersey, and it's got the Stanley Cup patch on it. And just a disclaimer, I am not a Colorado Avalanche fan, but I am rooting for them hard, especially if they play the Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals.
Of course you would.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm also going to be honest, I'm probably going to end up picking them over Tampa if they make it to the Cup. So. Yeah,
honestly, at this point, Colorado's going to win it all. Doesn't matter if it's against the Rangers or the Lightning.
They are just
the way they've been destroying their opponents in the playoffs, bro. Come on,
dude. They are just killing it. And 2 out of the 3 series they played thus far to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Holy shit! So
yeah, 4-0. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 4-0 with a 4-game sweep over the Nashville Predators back in round 1. I knew Colorado was going to win that. That was legitimately no surprise whatsoever.
Yeah.
St. Louis went 6 games. I kind of figured that was going to be the case, but St. Louis put up a fight, and I think they were so far their toughest opponent, unless someone out of the East, could compete with Colorado. But we'll see.
Right.
We'll see what happens after who hoists the cup over their heads in a couple of weeks. And then, of course, the biggest surprise, and everybody said Edmonton at 7, Edmonton at 6, Colorado at 7. Nope. It turned out to be the Avs in 4, and they ended up sweeping the Edmonton Oilers.
Oh, man.
Fucking hell, dude.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's even more embarrassing? The Avs have not lost a game yet on the road in this whole playoff run.
Wow.
They are so good. It is ridiculous with how good they are.
I can't see them losing. I can't see them losing the Stanley Cup series against whoever it is they face next. I can't see it.
Whether it's against Tampa or New York, it doesn't matter. But then again, This is their first trip since 2001. And what happened in the year 2001? Ray Bourque got his first and only Stanley Cup with the Avs after 21 years with the Boston Bruins. Yeah, Imagine that. I mean, and you have to understand, the Avalanche back in the early 2000s and late 90s, and obviously I told you about it, but after that the late 90s, they were like on top of the world. They had Patrick Waugh, they had Joe Sakic, they had Peter Forsberg, they had Adam Foote, and then in 2001, they added Ray Bourque. So they were all over the ice. And the Avs are just no joke at this point. They are just so good from top to bottom. And the crazy part is they are completely riddled by injuries too. But how do they succeed so quickly?
Who knows, man? It's just one of those rarities where a team is that good despite the injuries. It's crazy.
But I think there's one thing the Avs have certainty of, and that is they have a ton of depth. And I think that's what they were doing. If you remember back in the trade deadline, they just kept adding veterans. I mean, one of the bigger ones was Arturi Lehkonen, who coincidentally scored the game-winning goal that sent the Canadiens to the Stanley Cup Finals in 2021. Guess what he does this year? Take a wild guess, Sean.
Same thing. Game-winning overtime goal win for the Avalanche, send them to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. They brought him in from Montreal, and they said, okay, Arturi, you're going to be in our fourth-line wing, and you're going to go out there, and you're going to produce points. And sure enough, Lehkonen goes out and, goes on a tear with the Avs. They have so much depth. Like, I can't even keep track with what they have. But obviously the big names on that team are Cale Makar, Gabriel Landeskog. They have friggin' Nathan McKinnon, who's probably one of the best players in the league, if not a, poster boy for the league. And they're just ridiculous. But I think if they're going to win a cup, they have to really fix the goaltending and the defensive situation, because the way they played in those games against Edmonton, it clearly exposed to everybody what they have to work on and what they have to accommodate. But luckily for them, because they're so good and they are just stacked from top to bottom, they can accommodate with that and then hope to God that it doesn't fall on their face in the cup finals.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't even know at this point. I mean, the Stanley Cup this year could go any direction. We could see Tampa getting a three-peat. We could see the Rangers rubbing it in everyone's faces, especially if they win their 5th cup. That means they'll have more than the Devils and the Islanders in that whole division. It's going to be just a ridiculous, ending, depending who comes on top in the Eastern Conference.
Well, maybe, but again, I can't see either one of those teams beating Colorado the way the Avalanche have been playing. No way. Yeah,
but if I had to pick my MVP for the team this far, it's instantaneously Cale Makar. That guy has been on fire in this entire playoff run. He was outstanding in the series against Edmonton. He really stood out. He looked like Bobby Orr out there, for God's sakes. I mean, he's one of the greatest players of all time. But to say that, and Wayne Gretzky himself was like, I see Cale Makar being compared to Bobby Orr over here.
Yeah, I see the resemblance. I mean, there's no mistake about it.
Yep. And the crazy thing is, Joe Sakic is the architect of this team, and he was the captain for their 2 Stanley Cups in the 90s and 2000s. He was there for both of them.
Well, there you go. There you go right there, too.
And he's on the verge of getting a 3rd cup, but as an executive.
Hey, I can see it happening.
Yo.
Geez.
I mean, I can't see the Avs not being anywhere where they are right now. I mean, they are just right now. They're at the point where they're just inexcusable to win a cup at this point.
For real, they're just too good right now. I really can't see I can't really see either team putting up a even a decent fight against the Avalanche.
We'll have to find out come the Cup final.
Yep.
But yeah, so there's also been some interesting news outside of the Stanley Cup. So, like I said, congratulations to the Colorado Avalanche for the first time since 2001 are indeed going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and they're going to either play the Tampa Bay Lightning or the New York Rangers. But either way, it's going to be a good series, no matter who they play. Yeah,
definitely.
So while we're on the topic of hockey, apparently PK Subban, who is the older brother of Malcolm Subban, the goalie for the Buffalo Sabres, his name is being linked, along with Jack Campbell, the goalie of the Toronto Maple Leafs, being linked to the Buffalo Sabres in the offseason. And it's really weird to me because I read a stat the other day on CapFriendly.com, and I've told you about CapFriendly. And apparently, the Sabres will have projectedly $43 million going into next month's free agency class and having 3 first-round picks on top of that.
Wow.
Yeah, so Buffalo is going to be going on a tear this year, but they're not the only team. The Seattle Kraken also have around 30+ million to deal with because apparently now they have a little cap space to work with because friggin' Chris Drieger tore his ACL during the double IHF tournament the other day. He will be out for at least 7 to 9 months.
Oh, that was a freaking heartbreaker, man. What the freak?
Well, looks like Seattle will have one or two choices. Either bring up Joey Daccord for the time being or get an established, experienced goalie in the free agency class. You know, someone who's a backup material, maybe like Malcolm Subban or whoever is on the market this year. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of goalies, but I can tell you right now, you are not getting Jack Campbell. You already have Phil Grubauer.
Right. But right now it's whatever's going to benefit the team the most because this is bad.
Well, yeah, and Ronnie Francis has to establish something. They have to establish a system because the first year you went through that inaugural year, it's like, okay, now we have a better understanding what the Seattle Kraken are all about. So now they're going to go out and spend all this money on big name free agents because again, they have 28 million to play with. So Seattle can do whatever the hell they want. Or they might have more actually. I want to double check on that. I know for a fact Buffalo has 43 million because I read that stat the other day on Cap Friendly. So if we go on Cap Friendly right now, just to be precise, where is Seattle? There they are, Seattle Kraken. No, I'm wrong. 22 million in cap space, but that's still a pretty good amount of money there, though.
Yeah, still decent. We can still do something with that.
Yeah, so you'll have 22 million cap space, and you're gonna also have a buttload of draft picks for the next 3 years.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh. We'll be okay. We'll definitely be okay.
Yep. And I also found out Seattle's remaining free agents: Ryan Donato, Morgan Geekie, Carson Kuhlman, Cole Lynn, Daniel Sprong, Victor Rask, and Riley Sheehan are all free agents. And on top of all that, Hayden Fleury and Derek Pouliot are all free agents for the Seattle Kraken.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna suck to see a few of them leave, but hey, business is business. What can you do about it?
Yeah, I do expect them though to go really, really aggressively on Chris Letang. They keep that name in mind because they need help on the back end, and Chris Letang would bring a lot of experience to Seattle. He really would. I mean, he's hurt all the time, but he also has won 3 Stanley Cups. So for him, I think with Ron Francis, because he played for the Penguins 30 years ago, I think for him to bring the Pittsburgh Penguin connection to Seattle, I think would really benefit them. But I mean, who would not be excited to bring in the potential possibility of Chris Letang or Evgeny Malkin for that matter? Because Malkin is a free agent as well.
Yeah, either one of those guys. If we try to get them, they'll definitely be huge. Definitely, a real decent backup while Drieger is trying to recover from his ACL tear.
Yeah. And also the trade market is getting pretty interesting too, because I don't know if you read the news about David Pastrnak.
Remind me.
Okay, so this is coming from Elliot Freeman of Sportsnet. He said reportedly that David Pastrnak is reportedly not happy with the Boston Bruins team. He said the team may have considered gogging the trade market for him, and the team wants to resign him, but he was very unhappy with the firing of head coach Bruce Cassidy, which happened a day or two ago, as well as how management handled the situation for both David Krejci and Torrey Krug's negotiations. David Krejci is over in the Czech Republic playing for the international team, and Torrey Krug is on the St. Louis Blues, and they both left. And things will have to change, or Pastrnak may not be on the Bruins for much longer, and GM Don Sweeney will not let him go for nothing. So you're talking about one of the best players in the league, and he's demanding a trade because he is pissed off at the team for firing Bruce Cassidy.
Dang. I mean, hey, buddy, you're always welcome to Seattle if we can somehow figure it out.
Well, I mean, it's a possibility, but I can tell you one thing: Seattle, it's going to cost them a high-end prospect, and a first-round pick. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Boston will demand a lot. I mean, I can't really see him visually being on another team because I'm just so accustomed to it with him being on the Boston Bruins. But it would make me the happiest man on the planet if he left the Boston Bruins tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he does leave Boston, hey, someone's going to pick him up ASAP.
Oh, easily.
I was hoping to be Seattle, but honestly, looking at it now, oh yeah, easily. I mean, hands down. But who knows? Because we still got our work cut out for us as enough as it is. So, I mean, we'll have to figure something out if we are interested in them.
Well, yeah, that's going to be the factor because Pastrnak, Pasta is only 26 years old, which is really young, and he's making around $6.5 million, and he's a free agent in 2023. But the question is, if he somehow refuses to sign an extension with Boston, what would you give up in a package deal for Pastrnak if you're the Seattle Kraken?
Oh boy,
we're talking about a big-time superstar in this league.
Oh boy. I mean, I got to put a lot of factors into this. We're just coming off our inaugural season. We got a bunch of draft picks. I don't know, man. Maybe I want to say maybe maybe a couple of our free agents and maybe one or two first-round draft picks, but I can't really see that happening.
Well, to give you a better understanding, Seattle has four second-round picks in this coming draft.
Oh, God.
Four of them. They have their own. They have Florida's, they have Nashville's, and they have Toronto's. And then they have 2 fourth-round picks, one from Calgary from the Cali Yarncroc trade, and they have one from Washington for Daniel Sprong, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, for Marcus Johansson. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, I could definitely see Seattle throwing in at least 2 of these picks, including the 4th overall pick to Boston. I think that is a huge gamble for a guy like Pasta, but you got to give the get. I mean, if you were to give him a chance to play on a line with Jordan Eberle, Jayden Schwartz, and friggin', Yanni Gord or even Giannis Donskoy, I really don't know. Or better yet, how about this? Here's something you should do. How about put Pastrnak on the wing because he's a right winger. Put him on the wing with Manny Beniers, and then maybe just maybe put him on a line with Jayden Schwartz. So that's your top line wing right there. You have Jayden Schwartz on the left, Pastrnak on the right, and then you have Beniers in the middle. So what exactly would you get out of all that? I mean, that alone, like that by itself, is amazing. But again, Seattle will have to give up a lot to get Pastrnak.
Yeah, I think that's honestly, I think that's a little too much of a risk, if I'm being real honest.
Yeah, and if anything, Boston is really good at developing players. Because remember, want me to tell you a little quick story?
Sure.
So the last time the Bruins were anywhere near the top 10 was in 2010. That was the year that they had a top 3 pick. They didn't just get that pick because they sucked. They got that pick because the Toronto Maple Leafs management at the time was ridiculously stupid. Imagine this. Imagine giving up 2 first-round picks for Phil Kessel, and Phil Kessel was on your team for at least 6 years, and you go absolutely nowhere with him. You give up 2 first-round picks. The 2010 pick turns out to be Tyler Seguin, and the 2011 first-round pick turns out to be Dougie Hamilton.
Jeez, man. talk about a waste, man. What the freak was Toronto even thinking?
Yeah, and the worst part is the Maple Leafs went all in thinking they were going to win the Stanley Cup that year.
Bad idea.
Very bad idea. And on top of all that, they also got Dion Phaneuf to go with that too. But to give up 2 first-round picks for a top 5 pick in the 2006 NHL draft is a huge gamble, and that's exactly the price that at the time that Toronto paid. So if Seattle were to make a committed situation into what it is currently with Boston, with Pastrnak, they have to really be careful with what they're doing here because they could end up throwing away a ransom of their future for one player. And I think that's not a good establishment. But at the same time, maybe they don't have to give up a first-round pick. But I seriously doubt they have to give up that second-round pick. Well, they have to give up that first at some point. But Seattle has a 4th-round pick. I mean, a 4th overall pick, excuse me. And the trade in for Pasta, I think, would really benefit them.
Right. I mean, right now, I'm just 50-50 on this situation because one, we're still way too young. Like I said, we're just coming off our inaugural season, and for us to take a big gamble, entering into our second season, I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but as far as I'm concerned, I can tell you right now, the Kraken will not trade many Beniers. That's probably a big leverage to ask in a deal for Pastrnak, but that means that Seattle will not have a first-line center or a second-line center for that matter. So they have to be really careful if they're going to make a deal with the Bruins because, again, they know how to develop players. And it's an original 6 franchise, so they'll do anything to, fleece you in a deal, but who the hell knows? But it also doesn't mean that there's a possibility that he could re-sign with them. There's a very good chance that he could do both, but we'll have to see how the drama plays out because nobody really knows for sure.
Right. Maybe something will benefit Boston where he'll stay. Who knows?
Maybe, but their core is getting older, so the Bruins might have to rebuild. So the thinking process is they don't want to rebuild, they want to retool, but yet you fire Bruce Cassidy and you piss off David Pastrnak. So they pretty much shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would be the happiest man on earth if they blew up that team. I seriously would jump for joy. And Patrice Bergeron is a free agent in a month. So there's a 50-50 chance that he could retire or he could come back to the Bruins or play for another team. So we'll see what that situation lies to because who knows? Boston has a thing going on right now. And David Pastrnak could be a pretty iffy player for the Kraken to get.
Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in between.
I agree. Absolutely. Oh, and speaking of pure stupidity outside of Boston, Gary Bettman has to be on drunk power.
Oh, gosh. What do you do now? Okay.
Well, Gary Bettman and the National Hockey League and Tempe County in Arizona have agreed to negotiate on a brand new building in downtown Tempe. And Gary Bettman has fully endorsed a 30-year anti-relocation clause in the contract for the proposed Tempe deal. So this means that the Coyotes would stay in the state of Arizona until the year 2052.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Well, there goes the plan of moving Arizona to Quebec down the tube.
Fucking hell, dude. So what the fuck? You were willing to keep the Coyotes in Arizona in a city that clearly doesn't give a shit and they clearly are terrible, yet you were willing to throw away the Atlanta Thrashers and relocate them to Winnipeg. What is up with his obsession with Arizona? I don't understand that.
I don't get it, man. That dude ain't right in the head.
The poor bastard is so convinced that hockey is going to work in Arizona. Dude, this is coming from the same fucking team that's going to be playing in a college hockey arena with 5,000 seats and can't even put their own logo on center ice. And you're telling us that you want to put in a 30-year lease where they can't talk about relocation for until 2052? That's 30 years from now.
That's so dumb, man.
Seriously.
Dude, look, the bottom line is Arizona is not a hockey state.
No, it's not.
Let's just call it like it is. So why even why go out of your way to keep a hockey team in anywhere in Arizona for 30 years? Why?
It's not working.
No, it's not. It didn't work for it did not work for here in Atlanta. What makes them think it'll work in Arizona?
Well, not once, but twice. Because you also had the Atlanta Flames in the 70s.
Jeez.
The NHL has a serious, business problem. They really do. It's almost like damage control, if you will. It sounds like a reach from the government. The NHL is the government in this case, where they force people to pay extra taxpayer dollar for a team that nobody gives a shit about.
Big government at that.
And they had one good year, which was 10 years ago. And since then, they just went downhill from there. How do you accommodate that? Like, how do you seriously accommodate that for a market like that?
I don't know, man. It's just so ugh.
And people said Las Vegas was going to be a shitty hockey market.
Good gosh. Man, Vegas is freaking heaven compared to freaking Tempe or wherever the freak they're playing in Arizona.
Tempe, Arizona, but they're the Coyotes, so yeah. I seriously do not get this at all. Why is the NHL forcing us to suffer for 30 more years if they accept the deal? We'll find out in a couple of weeks or months, but who the hell knows what's going to happen? But as far as I'm concerned, Arizona's taxpayer dollar, the Arizonians are going to waste their taxpayer dollar on a stadium that nobody's going to probably attend because the team is so bad. And it's a game of executive hot potato every 2 or 3 years. There's always a new coach. There's always a new owner. There's always a new general manager. And they wasted the 15 to 17 years of Shane Doan's career in Arizona. And now you want to convince us that you want to keep the team in Tempe?
It's a freaking waste. Move the damn team to Quebec.
And that's a big hockey market too, Quebec.
Yeah. I'm betting Quebec is dying for a hockey team again.
Somebody's got to suck.
For real.
The only problem is Carolina has like 10 more years of this shit. I mean,
oh boy.
Carolina has like 10 more years. Florida is not going anywhere. Tampa Bay is not going anywhere. None of the southern teams are going anywhere. Nashville is not going anywhere. Arizona was very close to not going anywhere, or is going anywhere. But if anything, oh my God, it's almost as if Gary Bettman is so senile and stubborn to the point where he's willing to keep the team in a shitty market that nobody cares about. What's even more embarrassing is right now, the state of Arizona is a football and basketball town.
Yep. I just don't get it, man.
They just do not get it, and they never will. This is what drives me nuts about the NHL. Gary Bettman is too stubborn. He is too reluctant to move the Yotes out of the state to an actual hockey market. And it's not to say he's never done it, because he clearly has.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, fuck, what do you do?
What can you do?
Well, I mean, the only other possibility is the Ottawa Senators, but they don't have an owner yet. Ever since Eugene Melnyk passed away, everything has completely changed. It went into a complete 180. We don't even have that brand new stadium in downtown Ottawa. We don't even know. Because I think before he passed, Eugene Melnyk actually, pulled out of the deal. Calgary's another team that might move because of the whole thing with them pulling out of the stadium down in downtown Calgary. There's a lot of movement.
Yeah. Hey, did your audio change?
Yeah, it tells me on the screen that my audio is changing. What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. You just I think it switched to a different mic.
Yeah, it said that it went to Real Talk, but let's see. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
All right. So because before it said it wouldn't let me change my microphone when I tried to do that a half an hour ago. Now all of a sudden it decides that it can't. Weird. But yeah, so Arizona, it is not a hockey market, and they will keep forcing it down our throats.
Very bad idea.
Seriously, I don't get it, but whatever, man. So let's go into the green pasture of football because there is a lot to cover. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we have a lot to cover. But like I said, the Arizona Coyotes could fuck off. Nobody cares about them. They're losing money. The Colorado Avalanche, congratulations, guys. You're going to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time in 21 years. So that's a hell of an accomplishment. But let's go to the greener pasture of football because there's a lot to talk about.
Let's do it.
So the first one is, so obviously, if you remember a while back, Drew Brees got relieved from his job as an analyst on NBC.
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean,
You hear who his replacement might be as a candidate so far?
I'm listening.
According to the New York Post, a candidate has risen from the ashes to replace Drew Brees.
His name just so happens to be Jason Garrett.
What?
Yeah, Jason Garrett. Why? He's garbage. He's a garbage coach, and you want to bring him in as an analyst? Fuck. Is he just going to clap at us at every 3 plays?
Oh, gosh.
I didn't think Drew Brees was that bad, to be honest with you.
No, he wasn't. And I don't know, man. You know what? I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions about Jason Garrett. I'll wait until he starts, actually talking on the freaking show. And
if he gets
if he gets it, I'll be patient. And after I hear him talk, then I'll make my opinion about it.
I can tell you, if he were to get the job, it would be a really, really bad look on his end.
I can imagine.
I don't even know, to be honest with you. So moving on, according to Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, the NFL has made a rule now that says that teams can choose whether to fine players for unexcused absences from mandatory camp, and the maximum fine is $15,515 for the first missed day, $31,000 for the second, and a $46,000 fine for the third, which is up to $93,000 in total. And the fines in training camp will start at $40,000 to $50,000 per day.
Jeez Louise.
Talk about a money grab.
What the freak, man?
You're telling me these players are making tens of millions of dollars, and yet there are teams out there who are willing to sue their players for not coming to camp. Like, I know Baker Mayfield just got excused from mandatory minicamp because of admitting to his trade request a few months ago because of the whole Deshaun Watson saga.
Yep.
So, and there's a lot of interesting things that came out about Deshaun Watson this weekend, and I think it's only necessary we talk about him.
Yep. Let's talk. Let's get it over with right now.
If Adam were here, he would throw a fucking fit, considering that we would still be talking about Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Because he would say, you know what? Fuck this team. Fuck Deshaun Watson. I don't want him here. Now I understand why he was pissed off.
Oh, yeah. Good gosh, man.
Oh, no. The Houston Texans are completely involved with this too. So here's something that really came out that was very interesting. And we're going to talk about Watson in a minute. So the Cleveland Browns have excused quarterback Baker Mayfield, who is somehow still on this team 2 months after requesting a trade. He will be excused from next week's minicamp mandatory admission to submit his trade request. And there is still no movement on a potential trade for Baker Mayfield, and it's unclear when the situation will be resolved. And Mayfield is 27 years old, and he is set to make a fully guaranteed salary of $18.5 million within the final year of his 5th-year option of his rookie contract this year coming up.
Wow.
Yeah, so Cleveland's got some serious issues on their hands right now. They really do. Cleveland really put themselves in a big situation where they could end up losing Deshaun Watson. So we're going to go into detail about this. So according to a New York Times article, they have reported that the NYT investigator has reported that Deshaun Watson met a minimum of 66 women for massages over the course of 17 months. And the worst part is the Houston Texans themselves have gave him access to hotel rooms for massage appointments and provided him with a non-disclosure agreement.
No, he's done. All right, he's freaking done. There's no, bro. When you got 24 lawsuits against you, 24, and another report coming out, like freaking total of 66 women. I hear that right?
66 women in 17 months he allegedly hung out with.
Oh my gosh, dude, nah, he's done. I'm sorry, nah. I can't see him playing this season, man. I can't.
I don't either, but here's my issue. Deshaun Watson is in a very tricky situation because the fact that this all came out, the NFL will ask the lawyers and the party for Watson of video evidence of these sexual assaults. Because who knows, he might be massaging their ass and going into their asshole and then sexually harassing them. Who the hell knows? I mean, when you're going for a massage therapist, that just sounds like something you would record off of Pornhub. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yep. And things get a lot worse. And this story came out an hour ago. So attorney Tony Busby, yeah, that's his name, said that his law firm team will be adding the Houston Texans and others as defendants in the 24 ongoing lawsuits against Deshaun Watson. Quote, we believe the Texans organization was well aware of Watson's issues, but failed to act. This comes a day after the New York Times published a story revealing about how he met with 66 women in 17 months. And the article then states that Watson received help from the team, including a non-disclosure agreement and making appointments. And the agreement that Watson gave to some of the plaintiffs is the sign came in from the Texans director of security, Brett Nakaria, according to, or Nasser, I think I said his name right, from the New York Times. And they also said the Texans also provided Watson a hotel room and the Houstonian hotel where several of the massages took place. And the Texans have not responded to the allegations in the article, but previously stated that they were unaware of Watson's actions until of March of 2021, when the first lawsuit was filed against him.
Oh, good gosh, man.
So not only are
it's going to get any worse.
Oh, yeah, believe me. So not only are the Houston Texans involved, but so are the Cleveland Browns. So the Browns were the culprits. Watson is the suspect. And the Texans are like that culprit that helps the killer bury the body after we're committed murder.
Yeah, there's going to be there are going to be all kinds of fines all over. All kinds of fines, punishments, suspensions, you name it.
There's going to be a lot
somebody's going to pay heavy.
Oh, instantaneously. But if you had to guess, how many games do you think Watson will get?
Gosh. I would say, honestly, I'm going to go on a limb and say he doesn't play for the whole season.
Really?
I'm like all these, dude, there's no reason a guy having that many allegations, that many. No, I can't. No. Okay, let me not say whole season. I would say just over. I say be suspended just over a half a season. I'll say that.
I disagree. I think he's never going to play again.
Well, maybe. I could see that too.
Yeah, and if you remember a while back, the Browns also traded 3 first-round picks for this. 3 first-round picks, and they're paying the price.
Yeah, and they screwed Baker Mayfield over.
Mm-hmm. So until things change, the Cleveland Browns are in a very tricky situation.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's no getting out of this one.
Absolutely not. But the question is, what does the NFL do? Do they step in and give Watson a suspension, or do they suspend him for a whole year, or do they put an arrest warrant on him? I mean, I don't think they can, but the league has to do something because this is. They're going to do something, hands down. There's no way they're going to let this slide under. They're going to do something about this. At this point, they don't have a choice.
Exactly.
They don't have a choice because they have to get involved.
Yeah, this is too much.
That is way too much. 24 assault allegations, and you quote unquote met with 66 women in less than nearly 18 months. How the fuck do you get yourself into this situation? And the Texans knew about this.
Yeah, they're going to pay heavy too. Promise you that.
So who do you think will be the biggest loser of all this?
Oh boy. I would say the Browns, but I would have to go with the Texans because just the fact that they knew about this whole thing and said nothing.
No, not one word.
Yeah, Houston's going to get hit the hardest.
We'll have to see what the punishment is. They might have to forfeit draft picks.
Yeah, they're gonna forfeit something.
Yeah, they might have to give back the pick. They're not giving back the pick to the Browns. There's no way.
No.
They already wasted one. They only got two left.
They might lose those too.
Then again, this is the most Brownsy thing I've ever heard.
I mean, what else can you say about this?
Why is it, Sean? Why is it that Cleveland, of all teams in any professional sport, why is Cleveland the only one that ever fucks up consistently? Whether it's with losing, whether it's with scandals, whether it's with corruption, whether it's with criminals. I don't understand. What is it with the Cleveland Browns, of all people?
I don't know, man. Ever since that whole situation where the old Browns moved to Baltimore and years later the new Browns started, like things just went, like everything just gone downhill for them. I don't know if it started there, or I don't know, man. It's just freaking insane. They can't get anything right.
No, they can't.
I'm being 100% objective here. They cannot get anything right, and it's year after year, it's costing them big time.
Yep. And now you're in a very dire situation with a quarterback who is an alleged sex offender.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how Cleveland's going to recover from this if they do.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. But the Browns are in a very interesting situation. And when I say interesting, I mean they are in a completely tricky fucking situation to where they apply. The Browns are in this, oh my God. The Browns are in this spectacle of whackness that you don't even have a clue, where the actual amateur person like you and me would never understand. What is it with the Cleveland Browns? They fuck up every situation they ever touch.
I don't know, man. It's freaking insane, dude.
But then again, this is not the first time the Browns have had to deal with criminals on their team. They've also had to deal with Kareem Hunt. Oh
gosh.
Yeah, remember that?
Oh, do I ever?
Yeah, that story too. So not only do you have the woman beater, but you also have an alleged sex offender on your team. Fuck, dude.
Jeez.
Now, I really don't know. I mean, and it makes me wonder, did Bill O'Brien, when he had him as his coach, did Bill O'Brien know anything about this?
I don't know. I would have to assume he somewhat did. I don't know. I mean, but my thing is, if he did know anything about this, he would have spoken up about it before this whole thing got exposed.
Yeah, basically. So he had all of the pandemic. He had all of 2019 to talk about this. Because remember, we're talking 17 months.
Yeah.
So if we're going 17 months and the story came out in March of 2021, that means this whole thing played out in late of 2019 or maybe early 2019 at minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, dude. What is with the Browns? I don't get them. They just
I don't get it either.
They just amaze me with how much stupidity goes behind closed doors with these people.
Yep.
Fuck, dude. But yeah. So let's talk about something a little more interesting. And there is some really good news coming out of Denver, Colorado. So not only are the Avalanche going to the Stanley Cup Finals, but the Denver Broncos have a new owner.
About time. A Walmart heir.
Yep. So according to Forbes.com, Rob Walton an heir to the Walmart fortune, where the CEO of Walmart will win the bidding for the Denver Broncos for about $4.5 billion. And several sports bankers have told Forbes that the winning bid is expected to be announced as early as this month.
Wow.
So tell us, give me your thoughts on this.
Okay, first off, no disrespect to the franchise, but $4.5 billion. Are they even worth that much?
I mean, for a sports franchise, I mean, maybe the Dallas Cowboys, but even the Dallas Cowboys are not worth that much money.
Right.
The Bills were not even worth that.
No, not even close.
The Bills, I think, were like 1.4 billion at the time, but 4.5 billion, that's a lot of money for a football team.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, imagine.
But overall, great for Denver, great for the team, but again, I don't think they even worth half of that.
Yeah. And you know what, too? I guarantee you, when we see Broncos games in the future, I guarantee you, whenever they go on primetime TV, or if they ever put advertisements on the jerseys like they're going to do next season in the NHL and currently in the NBA, I don't know if they'll ever go that route, but it's say if they ever do one day, could you imagine they put the Walmart logo on the Broncos jerseys?
Or rename their stadium Walmart Field or something like that.
Oh, God. Could you imagine?
Good gosh. Walmart Field at Mile High Stadium.
But why would a billionaire who owns Walmart already want to buy the Denver Broncos?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
Now, is he from the area?
I
mean, I don't
know. I have no idea.
Let's find out. The answer is no. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's 77 years old. He'll be 78 years old in October. So you're telling me this rich old fuck who is almost 80 years old just bought a franchise, and this dude can die in 5 years from now?
Oh, boy.
Imagine wasting all your money and all that time for almost $4.5 billion for a franchise that you can only own for a certain period of time. It's going to be like the Pat Bowden situation where he died of cancer and the next owner buys the team, and next thing you know, he dies and then someone else will take the reign. Now, does he have a wife? Because I'm pretty sure he can leave the team to the wife.
Who knows? And here's something interesting. Broncos are going to get a part owner too, Melody Hobson, who I believe I don't know if she's still married to George Lucas or something, or I don't know. I forgot who his wife is, but yeah, she's set to be the part owner of the Denver Broncos, according to this article from TheRoot.com.
Interesting. Now, hold up. Who did you say bought the team?
A part owner, Melody Hobson.
Melody Hobson. Holy shit. Dude, I'm literally on her Wikipedia page. She is, in fact, married to George Lucas.
Okay, that's what I thought. 'Cause I knew he was married to a black woman, but I just forgot her name.
Are you seriously telling me that the wife of George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars, is the part owner of the Denver Broncos? What?
Small world, man.
It's a small world after all.
Okay, let's not
it's
go there.
A small world after all.
Screw Disney.
You know where I was going with that.
I know, but that is really interesting.
I had no idea George Lucas was married to her. I guess I can't give two shits about Star Wars, but that's pretty cool.
It is, yeah.
Fuck. I had no idea George Lucas was going to do that. Or her, Melody Hobson, was going to do that for that matter. Fuck. I had no idea. I mean, good for her. Good for her.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Good for her. I mean,
hands down, yeah.
So I guess if Walton were to die, she could just take over as the majority owner in a couple of years.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, she is still in her 50s.
There you go. Maybe that's what the plan is. If Walton dies, because again, he's 77, turning 78 in October, maybe she takes over as the full-time owner when he passes away in a few years.
Maybe.
Because Mr. Walton doesn't have a lot of time left on Earth.
Right.
So we'll see what happens from there. And let's talk about the reigning world champion Los Angeles Rams, because they made headlines.
Ooh.
Headlines. So where do we go with first? Aaron Donald or Cooper Kupp?
Let's do Aaron Donald first. That's because that was the first news that popped up first.
Fair enough. Okay. So according to sources, Ian Rappaport in particular, he said the LA Rams have reworked the contract for defensive tackle and Aaron Donald's 3 remaining years of his contract to give him a massive $40 million bonus raise through the year 2024. And he says now the deal, because of his pay raise, is 3 years, $95 million.
Oh, man.
I mean,
that literally makes him the highest paid defensive player in the league.
I mean, he deserves it. I mean,
oh yeah, definitely.
Now, do you think when it's all said and done, do you think Aaron Donald is a top 3 all-time pass rusher?
I say yes.
I'm going to say no, because I feel like that there's other pass rushers that have been in the NFL for over 100 years. I feel like that there's other players in mind that could come in handy. I really believe that's the case with Aaron Donald. But I definitely think when it's all done, I think he could definitely be a top 10 pass rusher of all time.
Yep.
That's what I think. And then just an hour before going on the air tonight, we found out that wide receiver and Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp got also an extension, and his extension is now 3 years, $80 million. But because he's still under contract with the Rams, in total, Kupp's new contract is now 5 years, $110 million, and that would pay him an annual average value of $22 million per year. So with those two players combined, the Rams have spent $205 million on 2 players in 2 days.
Man.
That
is insane, bro. But at the same time, I think they've earned it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Cooper Kupp is a reigning MVP in the Super Bowl, and Aaron Donald was a huge help for the Rams to win the Super Bowl back in February. So for them both, I think they both earned it. I mean, there's no way around this whatsoever. They're going to be on the team for a little while. Cooper Kupp, I think, is like 28, 29 years old. Aaron Donald is like 31 already.
Yeah.
So, dude, this team is just out of control. In terms of cap, they go about it, spend. And yet, here they are again, spending more money than they should have. But then again, they want to win another Super Bowl, but I just don't see them winning it.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, this time with Buffalo being the talk of the town these days.
Not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see the Rams repeating. I don't see them going back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
We'll have to find out. And then, of course, the news that broke the NFL world: the retirement of Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick has officially called it a career. After 17 seasons, he's played a total of 165 games, and he has totaled 34,977 passing yards with 223 touchdowns and 169 interceptions. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, I can tell you, is not a Hall of Famer.
No.
He is not a Hall of Famer.
But he is all kinds of popular.
Oh, absolutely. And there was some buzz that Ryan Fitzpatrick would not sign a one-day contract to retire as a Bill simply for the fact because he loves Josh Allen. And he simply, they're talking about giving him that deal anyway, but he didn't want to go to the Bills as a free agent because he absolutely loves playing Josh Allen and he wanted to play against him. So that's a big factor right there for me as far as that. And Ryan Fitzpatrick, of all people, he's like, I am a big Josh Allen fan, and I think he's going to do great things in this league.
Yep. I mean, and just the fact that out of all the places he's played football at, having Buffalo as his number one place, it's that says a lot, man. Because, geez, I really enjoyed having him on the team at the time.
Absolutely. I mean, Fitz was a spectacle. I mean, he played 4 seasons with the Bills, and of all the teams, that's the one he's played with the most, with the lengthy amount of time. Because I remember the Bills gave him a 6-year deal one year, and it didn't work out, but he stayed on the Bills for 4 seasons, which I think is more than his fair share. I mean, and he basically said he loves the Bills and he loves the city of Buffalo because of the people, because of the fact that the fans were supportive of him. And I respect that.
Yeah, I respect that too. And I got to say, my favorite season of him was back in 2011, all because he for the time being broke that losing streak against the Patriots at the time. That was, my gosh, bro, let me tell you, I was, when that game-winning field goal hit, I was on my knees, had my hands raised high, and I was like, finally. But of course, it didn't last long. But at the time, it was just, man, what a time to be alive back then.
Yep, and the Bills were the reigning favorites to win the division and going 5-2, and they lost every game since then.
Yep.
Fucking hell. That's probably why they cut him.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I don't know, but it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, I'm going to miss Fitzception, honestly. I'm going to miss him. I mean, he was a good overall player for the Bills at that time. But to be fair, he's also made an embarrassment of himself playing for the goddamn Jets.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so in total, I think he's played for 9 teams. He's played for the Rams. He's played for the Bengals. He's played for the Bills. He's played for the Titans. He's played for the Texans. He's played for the Jets. He's played for the Buccaneers. He's played for the Dolphins. And he played for the Commanders. So, yeah, that's 9 teams right there.
Yep.
Holy crap. He's been everywhere. Imagine if he played for the Patriots.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that would complete his journey. He would be the Aaron Asham of the NFL at that time. And Aaron Asham was an enforcer for the Islanders and then the Flyers and pretty much everybody in that division, basically. He played for everybody, like the Devils, the Rangers, the Islanders, the Flyers, the Penguins, etc. And they were all in one division together. And then, of course, the realignment came and changed everything.
Yep.
But it is what it is. But no, Ryan Fitzpatrick himself had a very interesting comment about Josh Allen. And he said this. He said, he's just absolutely deadly. The accuracy, the decision-making, he looks bigger and different from anyone else on the field. Couple that with guys love playing with him and playing for him. That's a pretty good combination right there. And he says the scary part is he doesn't realize how good he is.
Exactly. Man, it's just, oh man, just, it's just freaking, it's just a freaking honor to, to have having someone like Ryan Fitzpatrick compliment you like that. It's great.
Mm-hmm. But I think what's going to make Josh Allen very special among everybody, whether it's his draft class or just in general, is the fact he doesn't brag about, oh, I'm the best player in the world. He just puts his head down and works hard. That's what I love about Josh. He just goes in there and it's like, okay, I don't want people to, give me whatever. He said something really interesting. He said, I don't care if I get the respect. If you don't like me, that's fine. I'll make you love me, basically.
Hey, humble and hungry, earning that respect. I love it.
Yep. Let me get the exact quote because I saw this comment the other day from Josh Allen. Here we go. He said, if you didn't want to believe in me, that's okay because I'll make a believer out of you.
And boy, I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did a lot of that, man. Like, it's just insane, dude.
He's just out of control at that point, man. But he's so good, though, Josh Allen. There's no denying that at this point.
Yep.
He's so good. And I'm very blessed the Bills have him.
So, same here.
Yeah, so we've gone over an hour. And is there anything you want to say, Sean, before we go and wrap up for the week?
No, not really. I mean, I'm pretty much good to go. Can the season come over already? Because I really want to go to Kansas City.
Yeah, and I have 6.5 weeks, 5 weeks until I get married.
Yep, and I'll be there for your wedding, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Got your SVP and everything. I can't wait. 6.5 weeks to go until I say I do.
Mm-hmm.
Holy hell. So, but yeah, so we got a lot going on for the year of 2022. I'm getting married in 6.5 weeks, which will probably be one of my last few shows, maybe within a week or two before. I'll let you guys know in advance. I might not be in every episode moving forward as far as before the wedding, but after I'll definitely be available. But yeah, I can't wait, not only for that, but for my for the trip to Kansas City as well. So we got a lot going on this week or this year in general.
Yep.
So with that, thank you guys for listening in. I am your host, Bob Hansen. This is Sean O'Malley. And thank you for listening to Buffalo After Dark. And we will catch you next time. Enjoy your night, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Have a good night.
Buffalo After Dark is an H&H Studio production and is produced in partnership with Horns & Hooves Entertainment.